Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoyed tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to youtube.com/@EriseGames or at twitch.tv/EriseGames. Alternatively, you can enjoy all our recorded sessions on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session. And without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Welcome back. We rejoin the pack as the car parks near the area where Serena first met this mysterious individual. And as Serena looks out to the forest, he's not here yet, apparently.
Well, I'm going to actually use my eyes of the forest to see if this is because her other option was that this is a trap. So she's going to use the eyes of the forest for that.
So you call upon your blood
1, 2, 3,
to
4, 5. 5 successes.
Right, and yep. So you close your eyes, and as you open them, suddenly your perception expands immensely.
Actually, is this in the same areas that I've already previously covered? Is it the same area?
No, actually, because this goes within the territory of the witch. You saw the territory of the werewolves.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll do it. Because in the other area, I'd still have my ritual active, power active.
So you as you open your eyes, your perception expands exponentially. You see everything that moves within the forest. Animals, you see the flora shaking in the wind. You see the several idols hanging from the trees. And at some point, you begin to see the clearing where you met the witch before.
Mm-hmm.
And in that clearing, you see the witch along with a number of women, all dressed or undressed in the same fashion as the student you first met. And they all seem to be in a circle, performing some sort of rite.
Mm-hmm. Well, Serena's not gonna like intrude too much on them,
Mm-hmm.
and she like she'll just ignore that bit of like like personally like put like a
Blinders
like
on.
ignore, yeah, because she wouldn't want to offend her new allies. Um, I mean, even the fact that the witch's friend like knew about Jack and so on is like reasons to be concerned, but then they did promise aid. And allies are hard to come against Al-Mahara, so, you know, she'd like basically their sacred area, she'd like ignore it
No.
her on her own will.
Okay.
Mm.
So you sort of allow the area around the ritual to sort of become a blind spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the rest of the forest. You attempt to find things that seem out of place. Definitely all the idols on the trees seem to be... It's odd. Every time you try to look at one, it's like the shape seems almost incomprehensible in a way. And you swear you're seeing... Now that your perception expands even further, you swear you're seeing some spots almost repeated, or maybe they're just spots as you wish to see them. It's odd,
Well,
basically.
given my studies, in the meanwhile, I'd probably like Serena like would assume that this is the effect of their wards and protection, sort of similar like to the to the thing that the Kiesid did in that tunnel where we looked for Mariposa.
Okay. And yeah, as you keep an eye out, you don't see anything that seems out of the ordinary. Seems the guy is not even close.
Well, I scanned the area with my eyes. There's no ambush that I could detect, but let's still be careful.
Sure.
Either way, the witches did promise me aid when we battle against, when
good.
we have
Thank you.
enemies. And
When do we not?
well, given that they're probably one of the few not allied with the Tal Mahara. It's a pretty, how to say, valuable ally in the broad sense. I assume.
As you're speaking, on your side of the car, Serena, you hear
Mm-hmm.
knocking on the window.
Serena startled turns around.
It's who you expected. He simply
Hmm.
nods and then stands and takes a few steps back.
Okay. Well, Jack, I'm sure you've studied all how to behave your best when dealing with unknown elders, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. Jack will get out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fix his tie. Like more because he has to, not because he wants to.
Yeah, Serena also gets out of the car.
Well, hello again. Nice to see you.
Hello.
How have you been?
Hello. Good.
Good to hear.
I mean, I've expected this to be an ambush because I did not expect Gen Z language from an elder.
Well, I had to get the knowledge from somewhere.
Mm, yes. But
Anyway,
here's Jack. Here's Jack.
perfect.
You
I
may
would
you may
like
have your chat.
to. Yes, I would like to have a word with him in private if possible. Um, we should definitely catch up at some point, though.
Serena just like offhandedly nods, just like, you know.
Perfect.
She's like,
It's a date. You can get in your car and go. I'll call you later. It's fine.
Serena just gives like a very weirded out look to Jack, and is like, "I'll be okay, Jack.
I'll call an Uber if I need to.
Don't worry." She's like, looks to him and is like just like does this wavy finger, like mentioning like the area around,
Mm.
and is like, telepathically she tells Jack, "Look, I have the eyes active." So, and then she
Okay.
goes.
As Serena gets into the car, Jasper looks at her and asks, "Are you sure that his safety is, well, upon the agreement? You did say that they would be allies to you. They never said anything about being allies to your pack."
Well, the witches promised allyship to me and my pack in our war. So, and once they driven longer, far enough, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the point
Serena,
being, they only said they would be allies to us in the war, not
Serena,
before.
Jasper, you push you feel a pressure on your mind. Do you let Serena talk to you?
Yes.
Look, I told Jack in private. I do have the eyes like of the earth active, which allows me to see through all the plants and the forest around them. Okay?
Mm.
So that whole area, like from where we were parked, 10 kilometers, no, actually 15 kilometers in either, like I cover that area, even if I move. Like, it's active.
And
So,
you're sure that nothing they can do will impede you from seeing him?
well, I know that the spirit of the forest in the werewolf territory tried to, like, block out. I'm sure the witches can do something like
The
that, but
spirit of the forest, you say? Interesting.
yeah. Like I felt like it was like a spirit of some sort, nature spirit, maybe tree, maybe forest. I don't know. Either way, point I'm making. That's why I telling you that in your mind, because you know how good aspects can get once you're really powerful with it. So yes. So yeah, basically, I told Jack that we're watching. But either way, Serena is just like, since it's like conversation is happening in the mind, I suppose Jasper would feel like some like level of like Serena being uncomfortable about, like it's a date or like catch up, and she's like, oof.
You shouldn't
Guy's
let
pushing his
such
fucking luck.
small emotions cloud your mind right now, Serena. You need to
Well,
stay
it's
alert.
more like, I don't know what the elder is thinking, right? They could be,
I am probably
using
very sure that
using
he just meant that he wants to talk to you. The language of these times are crude and
yes, like okay, he could be using the British politeness and like manners, like it's small talk, it's just nothing. But you never know with elders, do you? So I'm sure it's nothing to be concerned about.
well,
I just don't wish for just don't want for our friendship alliance with the witches be tainted by casualties.
well, if it hasn't already, we still don't know exactly why they want Jack.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out.
So if we cut from the car and join Jack as he essentially sees the car, Serena and Jasper leave, and is left alone with the elder. The man looks to you with a slight smile, tilts his head and puts his hands on his hips. So, you're Jack.
Yeah.
So first of all, pleasure to meet you. I
I guess pleasure's mine too.
Well, I'm sure it is. Now, I felt a bit of disturbance recently. Um, Sorry, my English isn't my first language. It's a bit hard to come up with the words. Have you seen anything odd?
Seen, not really.
Maybe
I
remembered?
felt something like about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Can you describe it?
Kind of like a breeze, cold breeze from the ocean. The only weird part was that I was in my apartment which is not at all close to the ocean.
Well, for future reference, maybe keep that part a secret. The location, I mean. Not far from the ocean narrows it down quite a bit. Anyway. Well, I've been sensing something in this. I'd say it was sometime during the past week. I sensed there was a bit of a flash, an attempt to communicate somehow from something that, to my knowledge, should be dead.
Attempt to communicate with... So someone who should be dead tried to communicate with someone?
Yes. It was someone that I managed to deduce is you. You really didn't feel anything?
Not really. Well, if I should be dead, well, I guess you know who I am. So, we're all dead.
I mean, I know your first name. Didn't even know your face until you showed up.
Well, I tried to communicate with it because it felt like a presence, but it didn't answer.
Okay. So here's my proposition. I'm a man of my word. I'm sure your friend can attest to that and to other things. So, here's my offer. I can help you search for whatever tried to send that message. In exchange, you give me full honesty about these things that have been happening. I'll ask some questions, you answer them. That'll help me help you. And as a little bit of honey to sweeten the deal, how about I grant you a favor?
Doesn't sound bad. But like, if you're trying to find the one who was trying to communicate, I was trying to communicate. So here I am.
No, you didn't try to communicate with me specifically. I'm searching for... Well, since I'm sensing to some extent that you're accepting the deal, yes?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Then honesty is part of that deal. So, first things first, what are your hobbies?
Reading some weird occult stuff.
Okay. Don't see that having any connection to what I felt. Other hobbies? Any?
Not really. No, most, like, sometimes I try to practice what I read in occult books, so...
Okay. Does that involve your blood somehow?
Sometimes.
Okay. Last week, have you done anything like that?
Yeah. I infused my little blood with some moonlight. That's...
I won't ask questions about that. Did something weird happen?
Last week, not really.
Hmm.
Oh, apart from lunar eclipse, which mortals like to call blood moon. But that's a yearly occasion.
I suppose. How about dreams? Have you been dreaming? I know that's not something our lot do, but...
Not really.
Not really. Weird memories that popped into your head that you can't really explain? Flashes?
Not that I really recall.
What about the ocean? You mentioned you felt something coming from it. Do you remember seeing anything about the ocean? Or remembering anything about the ocean?
Well, I had like a weird sense. It's like I had a perspective of the city from the ocean.
Okay. Can you describe it? Actually, if you're okay with it, may I just pluck that image from your brain?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I can work with that. Give me your hand for a second. Before I grab your hand. Whatever happens, don't let go. Might feel a bit weird, but don't let go. Yeah?
Okay.
Cool. He grabs your hand, and all of a sudden, you just feel yourself almost falling down, and you feel your pants getting really wet with water, and now you're hanging by his hand. In the middle of the ocean, he seems to be standing on the water. Is that the view?
Is that?
You do see the Santa Monica skyline, same as the vision you had.
Sorta, I guess.
Okay. If I know anything about this type of stuff, we need to go down. So, hold your breath, I guess. Not that we really need to, but...
Don't really need that.
Cool. And it's almost like he lets go of something in his mind. He just falls into the water, and both of you begin to sink. And sink. And sink. Eventually you see the bottom. And just where you're falling, there seems to be sort of a ruptured fissure on the floor. And the guy just looks to you and does sort of this motion. And you continue to fall. You go into the fissure. And it goes down for a long time. You fall for what feels like minutes, maybe hours. And eventually, you reach what seems to be the bottom of this fissure. And all you find down there is bits of sand that have fallen in since it opened, and a small shard of some material, like a broken off piece of something. The man looks to you and just...
Does it look like kind of like obsidian or something?
That's black. It looks a bit obsidian-ish. Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
And as soon as you make contact with it, you just feel yourself almost falling to the ground. You look around you, and you're back at the edge of the forest. And the guy sort of just gently lets go of your hand. Sorry about the turbulence. Didn't really have a choice there.
That was more weird than anything that happened in half a year about.
Cool. So you did help me. May I see that for a second?
Sure. I'll try to feel any magic from it before I give it to him.
There's definitely something. It's not. It's roll
Not like
perception
magic.
awareness, please.
Okay, can do that. And Helese.
There is something about it. You wouldn't call it magic. It's definitely not of a non-Cainite origin.
Yeah.
And you almost feel like a closeness to it. So may I?
Sure.
He takes it, seems to examine it a bit. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Well, maybe you can figure it out, I guess. And he hands it back.
Sure. Into the inside pocket.
So you did help me. Shame I didn't get much out of it, but I owe you a favor. What would you like? I'm probably not going to be in town for very long, so best cash in now.
I don't really know. In case you have knowledgeable Sombra, it can teach me something.
Could probably teach you myself. What do you need to know?
Well, for that I'd have to be a bit lower in generation too.
How low?
One should probably do. I don't know. I messed up bloodline a bit.
Okay, do me a favor. Call your cute friend. Tell her to come pick you up.
Okay. I'll check if my phone is not dead first. Seawater is no match against IP68. It kills everything.
You check it. You turn it on. Seems to be on, but you sort of have to like shake it first.
Yeah. I'll message Serena.
And as soon as you press send, the guy just says, "Cool. Sorry about this." He does this, and everything goes black.
Right.
A while after, Serena, you return to the spot, and you find Jack on the ground, eyes closed, sort of like just as if he just fell backwards.
He posing, obviously.
He alone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go and like I assume like did my eyes of the earth work? Like except like when they went to the ocean.
They did work. The moment he went to the ocean, it's almost like he just vanished in a blur. And then he returned in a blur.
Well, so Serena basically overheard like shit, and so she's like,
well, you didn't really miss much from the ocean deep talk.
Yeah. She'd be more concerned. She'd be like, she'd get Jack back into the car in the back seat with Jasper, and then be like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And she's going to retell whatever she overheard, so everything except the ocean, to Jasper. And she'd be a lot more concerned. About him knowing that what Jack was contacted about, with, since she talked with Jack about it. And given the fact that Jack asked for his generation to be lowered, and he's
Well,
it's surely it cannot have been done, right? Surely.
So, as you're driving back to the Haven, Jasper, eventually checking Jack's condition, you eventually just see one of his eyes open and then the other. And Jack, you sort of come to your senses.
What the fuck was that?
you tell
Well,
us.
Well,
clicked you.
yep. That I remember.
After you asked that you need a lower generation, surely, and how did he know about the thing?
No idea.
Well, something that powerful would get the attention of those sensitive enough to sense. Perhaps that's how he knows.
But I mean, I assume Jack is not gonna know until he'll be able to test it, if the thing really worked, but he made blood sorcery easier for me to learn at first. If he managed to do this as well, and he knows about the entity in the ocean, and that it was contacting Jack, or tried to communicate with Jack.
And maybe
And to
he's more
communicate is
powerful
a
than
big
he.
fucking stretch, but yes.
No, but the point is,
Maybe he is more powerful than he shows himself to be.
do you think?
We don't
Do
even
you
know
think?
what generation he is.
Given our luck, well, another antediluvian?
I doubt it.
I don't know. Offered me to teach me some obtenebration. He would know what that is if he was a La Sombra.
What about that rock you looked at?
Blackish rock that I felt kind of familiar with.
Well,
not that I know it,
a kinship.
felt from sorta, yeah. Didn't
where
really
did you
got
guys
much
get it?
time to study.
Well, whoever
So deep into the ocean, it shouldn't be physically possible.
Okay.
Well, whoever he exactly is.
Never even told me
We
his
should
name.
count ourselves perhaps lucky that he doesn't want us immediately dead. Perhaps.
And I think last time I tried to divine on him, my tarot cards didn't really work that well, or And Iris is biting her nails at this point.
There's no point in
So I
What
guess
could
you both heard about like it's a date, which doesn't really line up with him being non-English speaker. So
Yeah.
I guess he asked you out.
Iris looks back to him, back to Jack, and is like, no.
I doubt you would like him, but he probably did ask you out.
Iris
That's
just
probably
has
what
like
he meant by it.
I believe that perhaps, even though it is not to your liking, Serena, perhaps you should go. You could get some information out of him that could be of use to us.
Jasper, did you suddenly get a fucking death wish?
No, but
So
it seems
I
to be
advise you shut the fuck up out about this.
I'm just being rational about it. It is her choice either way, what she does.
Iris is oddly silent the entire way around, but you can see that she's gripping the wheel pretty like tightly. She's like, I don't like this. Like there's like a face that she's deep in thought. Because even though, like she doesn't consider his quickness unnatural, anything weird, the rest, like she assumed he was another witch like the witch in the forest. But if
That
he
flake
can
wasn't a fucking magic.
no, if he well, here's the thing, if it did what you asked, like what Jack asked him to do with that flick, then that's like way different.
You know what? Why don't you park the car, I go drive, and you ask big fucking brother and sisters?
Who, big brother? You mean Big M?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, sure. Like, and Iris, for the first time, despite her always like, like looking for the Shadowlands and like basically sticking her nose into any question. Like, for the first time, she looks like extremely uncomfortable. So yeah, she parks the car. She lets Jack in the driver's seat, and then she goes in the back seat and just gives a heads up to Jasper. Sometimes the eyes of chaos can become rather
Violent.
well, no, wild. Just make sure it's not really that, like, I'm not gonna be like visible from the front, like because the back is all like toned dark, so it's not visible. And she's gonna go into freaking eyes of chaos.
All right. So, Serena, roll for it.
And she's gonna use a willpower point too, just in case.
Just want to see how badly this goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. And I need to roll
6
something
successes.
myself.
Malcolm's like, nah, don't want to talk about now.
Malcolm's like, oh fuck no, oh fuck no, oh fuck no.
Hell nah, hell nah.
Remember that person I told you to run away?
Okay. So,
Run away, you can hide.
Serena, as you close your eyes and attempt to focus, you drift off back into that infinite darkness. And once again, you don't even need to reach forward. You know that surface is there. You almost will it to crack this time. And as it cracks, you see that the number of cracks this time, now that you know it's important, creates 7 pieces. And your reflection on the other end is one of your Zulu form, only it is incredibly gored and mangled.
Not a good sign.
It seems to watch you with curiosity. And as it sees you, it moves one of its claws and just taps on its face.
On its face?
Yeah, aiming towards its eye.
Towards its eye?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Like, sorry. Is Iris supposed to understand something from it?
Whatever you understand from it is what you understand from it.
Well, Iris is going to... Do you know that Elder? I got a bad feeling. That's the first question she asks.
The reflection tilts its head and makes a bit of a confused expression.
Serena basically just like, because it's like, she's gonna use like telepathy, like Eyes of Chaos, to basically just like project her previous experience with a vampire.
Okay. As you do this, the figure, this Zulu form, looks sort of to the infinite, and as you project the image of him, it looks to you, and then while you can't hear anything from the other side, it falls over laughing. And one of the shards falls.
Okay, so I assume you do. Is he one of your peers?
The shape stands up, sort of doing the fake, wiping away a tear.
I'm glad you like Iris is like, I'm glad you're finding amusement in the situation, because knowing myself, knowing the clan, knowing you, I guess, in a sense, it's something that personally amused you. But is he a peer of yours? Like one of the 13 or however many of you were?
Malkov just... The figure basically taps its chin. And then with these really mangled claws just goes. And another shard falls.
Right. Why is he looking for... How did he know about La Sombra communicating with Jack?
The figure seems to look around and then looks to its wounds on its arms
Mm-hmm.
And does this, and one of the arms just falls out. And another shard
Okay.
vanishes.
No. Cryptic. Mm. Should I be concerned? Like, Jack is implying that it is a fucking ancient elder who fucking lived under a rock for centuries, asking me out on a date. Jasper says it's no, but what the fuck? Like, should I be concerned?
The figure sort of shakes itself and begins to turn back into a human shape. And it looks like you do now. And as it sort of straightens out, it kind of does a flick of the very vivid red hair. And as that flick happens, you see another crack, and the piece falls.
Iris has as the figure does a hair flick with the red hair, because Iris as a metamorphosis would be like, what? You're like looking for your ancient crush? Like, whatever. She's like, oh, like, are you telling me that this elder is delulu enough to basically consider me a rebound? That's what you're implying?
Malkov seems to chuckle and then does this. And the second to last fragment falls, leaving, again, a quite small fragment you can look through.
Wait, was it like a 7 questions already? I think it was less.
I think you asked 6, right? So
5.
Oh, okay, then. If you ask 5, then yeah, there are 2 shards left.
So I could technically just change how I look. Like, I don't know. Become a guy or something.
The figure looks down at itself, then looks to you, and then goes,
Okay. Fine.
It seems to want to say something, but it's struggling to gesture an answer. And as the fragment falls, you see like faint apparitions of it sort of doing this. And as it moves its hand, the shard returns and falls in place.
What? Uh. Ah. 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 The thing's like, Irie just like has like a little meltdown. The thing's needed to fucking maintain some fucking allies. Fucking hell. Okay. Well, since you seem to know and you seem to find it hilarious, whatever was going on, what's his purpose in finding La Sombra, who's supposedly dead?
As soon as you ask that question, the shape violently does a motion, and the shard goes flying to the side. This version of you looks genuinely upset. And then does this.
Okay. Okay, got it. Well, Serena like walks closer to the shard again, like to see what it does. I don't have really any more question, except maybe, did he, like, I guess I can figure something out if I have an answer or hint to. Did he lower Jack's generation?
And the final shard slowly falls.
I stand back expecting, like, Malkov again to appear in front of me.
He doesn't.
Okay.
As you prepare yourself to awaken, you then feel this really, really sharp pain in the back of your head. You turn in surprise, and you see Kian holding a bloody hatchet. He kicks you over and begins to hack at your head. And as you feel your skull splitting, you sort of jolt back awake in the car with a scream. And for the next 5 nights, you are going to be slightly bipolar.
Okay.
Very splitting headaches.
So that went well, apparently.
Well, um, uh, well, apparently, whatever I, like, when I projected what happened to Malkov, his first reaction was to fucking lose his shit in laughter.
So that means he knows him.
Yeah, he didn't, like, I asked him if it was one of the other aunties. He said he didn't give an answer. He was like, shrug.
Didn't he give an answer? So he shrugged, so he gave an answer.
Yes.
It just wasn't an
But
answer.
he is not sure.
No, it's the same type of answers that he does when he basically is like spoilers. Either way, I asked him about your idea of Jack, and remember the woman I was looking for? He sort of implied it was connected to the looks, but then also, like, I don't know, like, and Serena shows the motion he did, like the mind and the heart thingy. Like, when I ask him if it's like, if it's, you know, if it's some Delulu thing about rebound, like, oh, you know. Either way, shit's not good on that thing, and we're not going to be talking about that fact, right? We're not going to be talking or addressing that fact. Either way, I did ask him whether he did the things that you asked him to, and let's just say that his smile was the type of smile I give you when you guess my plan correctly or you understand some fucking shit correctly. So I'm assuming he did lower your generation.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, yes, exactly.
At what cost? That is the question.
Well,
Well,
if I got the deal right, I helped him out in whatever fucking capacity, and he just lowered my generation. To what degree? Good luck trying to find that out.
by the way, is Jasper aware of Jack communicating with La Sombra?
Probably not.
He was not made
Probably
aware
not.
yet. In fact, the entire time you made it a point to keep it a secret, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Jack will feel a quick, like, poke on the mind. Just the fact that he knew about La Sombra.
That's
And
fucked up.
that he could, like, make blood sorcery for me to learn easier. And he could know there was a communication attempt.
Mm-hmm.
That is very fucking dangerous. Like, either way, it's definitely somebody Malkov personally knows, and he lost his shit about this person. Which potentially puts him as one of the third generation. Which potentially means that
Who then?
this is an enemy of the sword.
Yeah.
Are you just going to stare to Jack, Serena, with a green face?
No, Serena's not staring at Jack. She's just like looking at the window. Sorry.
Both look at the window meaningfully. Jack just looks at the front window.
Serena's like, look, I'm still like processing about the fact that Malkov confirmed Jack's idea and lost his shit about it, okay?
At this
I don't
point,
fucking like it.
the car begins to approach the haven.
I'm curious though. I'm gonna call Larry.
Larry.
Either.
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Larry, your phone vibrates.
I assume I am in the haven.
Yeah, we can see you're chilling on the rooftop.
I pick it up. Yes.
Did you or did you not follow us from the air?
Why?
I'm curious. I don't give a fuck if you did. I would rather prefer if you did, actually.
What happened?
So you didn't.
I'm asking. What happened?
What happened is I met a guy.
What
who-
guy?
No fucking idea. Average guy.
How did you meet him then?
He asked Serena that I meet him, and I kinda hoped that your nosy blood is gonna make you fly and follow us.
Why?
Because I don't know. Air reconnaissance. So, again, did you fly after us and follow us, or did you not?
What is your concern, Jack? I do not
That you
understand.
might have seen something that we didn't, which would be good. Stop
From
evading the fucking
anything
question and say
important?
yes or not.
I
Larry,
didn't see anything.
do I smell bullshit?
Larry's tongue does have a bit of
It's
an
just by
odd
hearing
ooze
because
sort of spitting out for a second, and then you realize it's just your imagination, I suppose.
So, Larry, if you did see anything that we didn't, because I missed the time between him knocking me out and Serena picking me up. If you did see anything, you better tell me now, because it might be
Serena would
important.
have seen it. Serena would have seen it though. Eyes
Tell
of the
me,
earth.
Tony, you have the perfect capability to understand if somebody lies to you or not. How can't you tell if I was following you or not? And if I had seen something or not? Why are you torturing me with these questions?
Because you're awaiting a straight fucking answer. Go on. I'm not gonna punish you for following us.
As if
I'm
you
just
would.
trying. Sorry, I could, but I don't, and I won't.
Mhm.
Have you seen something that we didn't? Anything?
If I had seen, I would tell you.
Uh-huh. But you haven't seen anything.
Are you already dropping by? Where are you?
Close to the haven.
How did the meeting go?
It was one of the meetings of my lifetime.
Really? And you don't even know the person?
Do you?
How would I?
I don't know.
Well then, I will
Next
be
time I'll
waiting
ask
for
of
you.
his name specially for you.
You know, meetings with strangers are not usually considered to be meetings of a lifetime.
It was one of the meetings of my lifetime, and I had many.
So, good for you.
Is Olivia
I
still back
will
at the
be
haven?
waiting for you.
No, Larry would know probably.
Well, that's Larry. I'll PM you the answer.
Okay. You were put on standby. Please wait for ST to type something in personal chat. Duns, du-du-du-du, duns, 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 du-du-du-du, duns, duns,
Ah,
duns,
yes, the
du-du-du-du,
elevator
duns, duns,
music.
duns.
You got your answer. You may stop sassing now.
Probably, I don't know.
Okay.
They have this remarkable skill of not letting anyone know if they leave.
They pretty much do let us know when they leave.
I
You,
mean,
on the other
if
hand,
they want to leave discreetly.
true. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
I will be waiting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I won't start another small talk until we get back to.
Yeah.
If somebody else does.
Well, at this point, you're basically near
Yeah.
near enough to the haven that you park inside, make your way up the elevator with the usual code, and you enter the haven. And sure enough, Larry is in the living room.
I'm gonna sit on one of the chairs and like examine the shard more closely now. Maybe like from a cult point of view.
Okay, a cult point of view, yes?
I read some books.
Okay. I need to roll something for you. Just because, best if this is kept a secret. One moment. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so that's not a lot of dice, but let's see. You study the object. It feels almost like rock, but there's something odd about the texture. We don't know many rocks that naturally take this shape, and it doesn't look like it broke off in this shape either. There are definitely parts of it that clearly were broken off of something, but even the natural texture feels weird.
Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna envelop it in shadows and see what happens.
Okay.
If it's from La Sombra Antediluvian, I guess, like, bring it back home?
So, you call upon the shadows. Is anyone else in the room apart from Larry and Jack? Like, does anyone stick around?
Serena is still in the room and she's just like still
Pondering.
processing.
Yeah.
Jasper is observing the situation.
Okay.
More
Jack,
casualties.
I need you to roll me first. Just your flat obtenebration score, please. Okay. And now I need you to roll me stamina, please.
Oof. That's not a lot of dice. Beleze. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Managed
So,
some.
you envelop the shard in shadows. And for a very brief second, you feel this really intense, but only for a very split second, really intense pain in your chest.
Like art or something else?
Like someone just set your chest on fire for like a fraction of a second. Like a fraction of a second. Almost like the feeling of stubbing your toe, but that burning alive just as long as like the impact. Yeah. And just here.
Something changed about the stone?
Well, do you remove the shadows from it?
Yeah, I'm gonna not just dissipate them, I'm just gonna pull them back.
Okay. So as you pull the shadows back, anyone else in the room sees a rather quickly rotting small chunk of flesh.
Okay. That's fucking weird.
On the floor, or
No, in my
In
hands.
Jack's hand.
In my hands. I'll
Antediluvian?
I'll just fucking unbutton my shirt and like check where the if was the pain like more to the outside or to the inside.
Well, it was just your entire chest.
Mm.
You look to your chest, no markings, no anything. You're fine.
Jasper would take a step closer and look better at this rotting chunk of whatever it is.
Okay.
You better be fucking quick because it's 100 years old.
That's fine. That's fine. Jasper, roll me perception and medicine. Because it's rotting rather quickly, difficulty is 9. So close.
So close, and yet so far.
You don't have any specialties
Can
that
I
apply?
roll? Can I roll?
Wait. I mean, I'm insightful.
No, it wouldn't apply here.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
difficulty 9.
Yep. Oh my fucking
Well,
god.
no.
What is this? You rolled the
Serena
exact
is
same
still,
amount
like-
of 9s as you do once. Twice. What are the odds?
Well, here's the thing. Serena is like still concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the bit of flesh rather quickly turns.
I have another question. Could I possibly maybe try to identify, even if it's rotting, what kind of like tissue, organ, or whatever it is?
I'll give you one action, and the roll's gonna be difficulty 10. What do you want to do to try and identify it?
Well, how big is it? Is it just like
Yeah, big. Like, this fucking big.
Yeah, basically. Basically.
so? It's a little. It's like a chunk of organ. So the best way would be to quickly cut it and see the layers of the fucking whatever that is, if it's an organ or.
Okay, well, luckily, it is broken off, or it was broken off, which means it's a slice of an organ already. You know what to look at. That said, it's very, very rapidly
Decaying.
turning into dust. So roll difficulty 10, and it's in this case wits and medicine, because you got to be quick about this.
Don't forget the power of Pelese and willpower.
I would like to use a willpower and Pelese.
Okay, and
The
do you have
most
any
important
wits
part.
specialties that apply here?
Probably not.
Oh, I think you do.
No.
I think you do.
Changes in strategy, actually. Yeah.
Oh, no. Unfortunately not. Sorry.
That would be the other one, the intelligence one, which is analytical.
Yeah.
But I did get a success with the willpower.
It's willpower. All you gotta do is roll no ones, and
No, actually, even ones don't cancel willpower.
the willpower success?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
willpower. Even if you roll like
Okay,
all ones,
go
you
for
still
it.
succeed.
Roll. Let's see how
Went for it.
high the success rate is.
He went for it, and he went for it rather shittily.
Oh, is that the roll? Shit. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that is one success. So you look at the side of the organ, and while it's rapidly dissolving, you do recognize it's a muscle, and the shape of it feels like it's a piece of a muscle that would be sort of concave, in a way.
So, okay. Jasper takes a closer look. It takes a step closer to Jack and says, "Jack, would you mind me slightly looking into your heart, perhaps?"
Only if you look just slightly.
Do not worry. I'm just gonna take a quick peek and not change anything if you're worried about that.
Don't try to steal
And
my heart, though.
why would I ever do that to my ally? And Jasper would carefully, if he's already unbuttoned his shirt, so he would carefully put his hands over Jack's chest and remove, well, tissue
Lift the
and,
fucking hood of the car.
yeah, pop the hood of the car open and take a look inside of it.
All right. So, Jack, you see Jasper as his fingers, like the tips of his fingers, sort of unfurl into these rather sharp tools. And he begins to slice into your chest. And it's fucking agonizing. So I need you to roll me self-control. To not lash out.
Yep.
In the meantime, Jasper, please check.
Through suffering we learn. Pelese. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
I got 2 successes.
I see it.
So you manage to like hold down as Jasper, quite disregarding your winces of pain, just keeps going as if you're doing nothing. And as eventually he pries open your ribcage and seems to look in, Jasper, you basically see that part of Jack's heart is now this really, really, like, light-absorbing black. Like the darkest black you can imagine. And it's just functioning as normal.
And with that, he looks at Jack and says, "Give me a second." And he will... Oh, wait. He doesn't have a reflection. God damn it.
Yes.
Here it is. Ah, that's a very beautiful floor.
Here's nothing. Here's nothing and here's
He would look at
friends
Serena,
and Jack.
at Jack, and Larry, and says, "This is... why?"
Give it to me, doctor. How long do I have?
I have no fucking idea. Serena, would you want to take a look?
Serena, like, looks startled out of her thought, looks to it, and then looks to Jack. Well, I'm assuming, given the man's reaction to this obsidian stone, he was not of Clan La Sombra.
I guess not.
But I'm guessing we have our confirmation.
About what?
About who was communicating.
I guess.
Well,
Anyhow, apparently part of your heart is not yours anymore.
it's made of black material, like light absorbing, like your shadows, arms of Ahriman.
So I'm closer to the abyss now. How fun.
Mm-hmm.
And Jasper would, as quickly as he closed, making sure that he does not come even to contact with the heart.
So, closing it, You basically don't need to do much because you didn't use vicissitude for this. You just used tools. So you just push everything sort of together and just let Jack heal it naturally. So, Jack, you can take a blood point off and heal that damage. Yeah. And as all of this happens, eventually Olivia opens the door to the bedroom and walks out, then looks at Jack laying on the floor and the 3 people standing over him and says, no, it's something else. Okay. Serena, just let me... And Serena, you feel a slight pressure on the back of your head.
Yeah. And Serena just like looks at him like usually she's like, yeah, whatever, get whatever you need. This time she's like, she looks slightly terrified, uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Right after Olivia does this, there's a moment where they open their eyes and say, okay, so not the weirdest thing we've gone through.
Not really.
He asked what?
What exactly are you so worried about? There were a few things to be worried about, honestly.
Olivia basically leans over to check the clock on the table, and then straightens her back and says, I'll be back in just a minute. And begins to walk towards the front door.
Serena just like... Serena worries for a second. But then... Actually, should I roll something to see if like if I'm like composed enough to like, process things?
Do you feel you'd react emotionally out of impulse and you wouldn't want to?
Well, knowing like previous experience with Olivia, like killing a fucking gargoyle for, looking at me wrong, basically. And she's just like, she would worry that Olivia would be going to do the same thing when it's unclear what power level is that person.
So you may roll. That would be instinct in this case, which you don't roll. Let's say if you have instinct 5.
I do.
Okay, so you
Plus all virtues are minus total... 1 difficulty. Plus all virtues are minus 1 difficulty for me.
Yeah, so yeah, you can control yourself just fine.
Yeah, so Serena just like chases after Olivia, and once they're out of earshot, she's like, listen, we don't like, did you also look through like my communication with the big M? Big Iris? Or, like, do you even have access to that?
Sorry, is this question towards me or the back?
Olivia.
Oh, Olivia is going out, not really reacting to anything.
Yeah, she chased after Olivia. She's like, did you see like my communication with like the big Iris?
What is the big iris?
The big M.
Oh. No, why?
Okay, so just look into my mind, telepathy-wise, okay? And she just like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Olivia basically focuses for a moment and says, I can't see anything.
Okay, so. Okay, I guess that's like.
Look, I'll be
So,
right back. It shouldn't be too long, okay?
well,
I just
it's
need to make sure everything's okay. It shouldn't take too long.
okay, but just like. Let's just say that when I first projected to Malkov, like, a question about that person, his first reaction was to fall over fucking laughing his ass off.
And I'm sure there are reasons for it.
And
I'd still
he.
like to make sure things are safe.
Yes, I mean, either way, I might. It might benefit for me to change my sex and looks.
Do as you wish.
Hmm. Either way, yeah. It's concerning.
I'll return soon, okay? Just stay safe.
You stay safe.
I'll be fine. And
Okay.
Olivia turns and starts entering the elevator.
Jasper looks towards Jack. For some second, he's about to say something. As he then shifts his eyes for a second, almost into nothingness, before looking back at Jack and saying, "Oh, this is not gonna end well."
It's not
Anyway,
gonna.
This
What's
fucking
not gonna
nothing
end well?
fucking ends well.
What's not gonna end well?
whatever Olivia is going to do.
Okay, fuck
Anyway,
it. Serena's like chases after Olivia.
Mm-hmm. You basically catch the elevator as it's closing and just stop it.
Look, Jasper just said it's not gonna end well, so maybe no, don't.
How does he know?
He just had his this like look into like as if he looked into the Shadowlands or something. I don't know.
Okay. Olivia just takes a step out of the elevator and goes inside. Then, without saying a word, makes her way to the bedroom and slams the door shut.
that one better than I expected. But still, Serena, you still have an choice to make, which is whether you completely ignore this mysterious elder or you go meet up with him.
Or I have a choice to do the metamorphosis way.
Yeah.
That is to say, if he cannot identify you, even if you change.
Oh no, it's just that I could not look like his ex, apparently.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines. I don't know. It was vague.
Well, whatever choice you make, know that every action has a consequence. And
You tell me that.
we could get information out of that if you went to speak with him and just say that you're not that person that you think he is. You are, at least. Either way, your choice.
Jack will just like sit up still on the floor and like concentrate for a moment, try to feel what changed in him.
So you're trying to feel what
Maybe the
changed for
presence
you.
maybe the presence got louder, quieter. Maybe like physical changes purely. Like something gotta change. Especially with a piece of my heart just becoming a fucking abyss.
So you can roll. In what sense do you want to check? Just introspection? Do you want to see if something supernatural happened to you? What are we thinking? Oh. Can you guys hear me? I see. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. So, returning to the question. Jack, you want to feel if there's some change that happened to you. Are you looking for some supernatural effect? Some physical effect? Just introspection? What are you trying to do?
More like just trying to find out if anything just changed.
Yeah, but in what
like
sense?
If probably like supernatural than physical.
Okay. So first,
I try to fulfill both.
Perception and awareness.
Careful applies.
Yes.
Yeah. Beleza?
Yep.
Ooh, that's good.
So you definitely feel a bit numb, but in a good way. Almost like you feel like there's a bit more flexibility with what you can do. Almost like a runner who just limbered up before a race. You feel like you could achieve things like supernaturally. You could achieve things faster and get better results out of things. Um, effects on you, you can't really sense anything, but that's generally how you feel, like just in terms of your mood, you sense there's like it's regarding your supernatural condition. If you want to check like physically, just physical effects, I won't even have you roll. There's really no physical sign that you've changed. Apart from, if you haven't healed the wound that Jasper cut into your chest entirely, but otherwise, on the exterior there's nothing. I think that's, unless you want to try some other method.
Well, I'll try to like open my mind to the entity. I was like feeling around for past 2 weeks, but don't try to like send a message.
Okay.
Just like.
So as soon as you open, like you allow yourself to at least listen, you just hear a whisper right next to your ear going, shh. And then it's almost like your mind clenches up and locks up again.
What was the whisper?
Just a
because if you
shh.
The fucking okay. Okay.
As Jack is doing that, Jasper now seems to stare at Jack, and even though his expression shows nothing, the tendrils.
Well,
that come
there's like a bit of a flinch to his face.
The tendrils behind Jasper's back seem to get a little bit excited and move around him, slightly defensive. And after a moment, he seems to look back at Serena and says, "Is there anything else you would need me? Are we doing
No.
anything else, perhaps?"
No.
I
Not.
need to complete some things.
Of course.
If you excuse me,
So
I
you were
need
saying
to
you wanted my help for something?
later. I
Okay.
By the
need
way, do you have the hair from the mortal remaining that you used for your shoes?
which mortal, remember?
The one I gave you earlier.
Oh, she should be quiet in the closet in my room. Feel free to pick her up if you want. I need to speak with Olivia to see where she left things off for me. As he starts to walk towards Olivia's room.
Left things up for him? Okay. Serena looks a bit annoyed because she wished to go speak with Olivia in private about what she saw in the vision. But yeah, she looks to Jack and then telepathically tells him, you know, when I asked VtM what's like the thing, the person, like why he's looking for your supposedly ante, he was just like, he just did a very brisk and very intense sign to keep the mouth shut.
Yeah, I just heard that from, you know.
So I'm
the fucking
assuming,
church.
yeah, so I'm assuming the same is about Olivia.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm annoyed Jasper's like, but I assume, like, actually that might just, like, give Olivia time to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
Because shit. At first I was worried about...
Can you help me real quick?
Was what?
Just concentrate real hard on like any supernatural energy, and I'm gonna see if something I can do is registerable. And I'll just concentrate and basically like use my abyss message to I'll just message Liliana, and like the text would be like, I'm just trying stuff out, don't worry.
Okay, I got 5 successes.
Okay. You're trying to detect what specifically?
No,
If
I'm
there's
just...
gonna be like, I just asked to see if my abyss ritual leaves like any fucking trace that can be like felt when I cast it.
And Serena got 5 successes. So, two things. Serena, you feel from Jack specifically sort of a very brief pulse of, a bit of an uneasy feeling. That said, you feel that every time he uses some form of obtenebration, just you usually associate it with the shadows moving around. So, nothing out of the ordinary. Jack,
Well,
one thing you notice is you usually have to do. It takes effort to do this messaging. You almost do it instinctually as if you were talking. No effort at all.
well, I felt the usual pulse of energy I feel when you use obtenebration. Nothing out of the ordinary.
You think it's gonna be safe to use it?
Well, if you mean... in what scenario? Against whom?
Well, towards whom, rather.
Well,
I believe the
haven't you know...
title we have to use is the words that you have silenced.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how to actually relate that thing to anything, to be fair. Well, honestly, it could be related to the shush thing, or which is basically still like all the shush we have to consider when just, like, given what we know. Like, not even Vikas knows what some of us here know. Point is that I'm making is that against whom do you mean the man who like
Who likes
intercepted?
who felt that I even tried to talk.
Well, what's interesting is that he didn't know what the stone was.
Yeah, he had no idea. Well, not that he can really figure it out now.
No, because the stone was something unique to La Sombra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny?
Mm.
It felt so much easier to send the message.
No, that just confirms our theory.
Yes.
But
Yes.
something we should need to be shush about, because certain free of are considered dead. All of the free we're talking about, they're officially dead.
Uh-huh. You know what?
And
We can just participate in your favorite hobby.
what's that?
Let the card tell us if it's safe for me to use this ritual to communicate.
Fine.
I mean, worst that can happen is we wouldn't know.
Fine. I suppose it's an easy enough task that I can use. Though, I suppose the question is more like, he seemed to be interested in like that communication with the dead one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he's not that interested in the other one, maybe. So,
The New York one?
no, like you guys communicating with Liliana or something. Or just in general.
Well, because that's just obtenebration on like extent of it.
Either way, it could be also that he's able to detect communication happening, but not know the content.
Also true.
And I'd assume that would be the case because of like lack of awareness.
As you have told me last week, make sure to use the safest communication possible.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 3 successes to divine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 successes to interpret. So, 3 questions, Miguel. First, can the person detect the content of communication?
Okay, so you draw a card for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drawing 3 cards or something.
You draw the Wheel of Fortune, though the sense feels much more like chance rather than cycles and repetition.
Is all like communication using this abyssal method detectable to the guy? Like, as in, like the communication is happening.
Is all of it?
Yeah, like can he detect like any?
Can he detect the fucking signal, or can he decipher it?
No. The cipher one I asked. No, like as in like,
Okay.
can he access, like, basically, does he have access to any communication? Like, can he like detect it happening?
You draw the Hermit upright.
Wait, let me first check before you consider my next question. Mm-hmm. It says a little. And is this a communication method secure to use? In general. And given the fact that the first card was chance, she'd actually shuffle both back in.
Okay. Once more, you draw the Wheel of Fortune.
Well, can't read all of it. Some of it. Contents. As for whether he can, I guess, like he has to concentrate on it. I don't know, maybe. It's the Hermit card, so to say. But basically, as with the deciphering, it depends on the chance or like nature of it. And given Big M's reaction to the things I shared to them, it's probably a personal acquaintance.
Yeah.
And not somebody of La Zombre clan or something like that. Because he'd know what the rock was. And given Olivia's reaction, I guess he has a hint or hunch, but also not actually due to that, but because she stopped and she went back. So it's either another auntie or someone close to them.
So, 4th gen.
I don't know anyone who can like lower generation at will.
So, we're looking downwards then.
And Serena just like it's like it looks to her as if like she's like looking into the abyss, and she's like, well, if you're going down from the third, we don't really have many options, do we?
What? 4? 3?
No, I meant if you're going lower in generation.
Yeah. The entirety of 2nd generation. No. If
Supposedly
memory
dead.
serves right, one of them was, and they're supposedly dead. Then there's one. And apparently God.
Serena actually just like takes out her phone. By the way, actually, Miguel, ST question. Would Serena be familiar with rumors that Cain learned his disciplines from Lilith?
Unfortunately, you don't have that fragment of the Book of Enoch.
He had mine fragment of Book of Nod, but we didn't even discuss it after she started translating
Book of
it.
Nod, I misspoke. But yes, you don't have that fragment, so unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, our only hint is like red-headed woman with the garden. I mean,
out of character. Did you tell Jack about the flower?
yeah, she did.
flower from underneath the earth is also like furious.
Well,
I
given that
don't
we
really
have,
know much about vampires and flowers in one context, but you
well,
probably do.
I mean, not particularly from what I know about the mystics. I mean, if we just go by the fucking whole ancient lore of the Jewish tribes, there is one who is a civil, as uh, like who is related with a garden and like traditionally portrayed with very red hair, and that's Lilith. But that's like I don't know any myth like about her. Like I don't know if like she's like
Well, if you really need, Jack will just pull up his phone and still take some water out of it and just Google Lilith Jewish stories.
no Lilith like that's the point. Iris says there is the mortal mythology that's connected to Adam, Cain, and like the whole fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know if that's like that's like the only garden like thing in like the whole like that myth. But that's she has no confirmation that it's connected to vampiric lore.
So as you have this discussion and are about to do some research, Jasper exits the room and joins you in the living room.
Well, Serena actually is going to like use the opportunity to go to check on Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jack will just read up on Lilith, I guess.
Okay.
Also,
So-
I'll message. Yeah, I'll message Ryder like, do
Yeah,
you
actually,
have anything on Lilith?
actually, we never like checked if Strider has any Book of Knot fragments.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly he does. So yeah, I'll message him. Do you have anything on Lilith in your collection?
A response comes back. Which specific Lilith?
Fuck it. Book of Knot.
You get a date during the week and a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I assume like this happens while Serena is leaving.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
As
He
Serena
might
speaking.
have something on Lilith.
In terms of vampire lore and
In terms
history.
of Book of Knot.
Okay.
As Serena's leaving, Jasper looks to Jack. Jack, I'm in need of more knowledge. And someone that has a lot of knowledge is someone that's also perhaps a pain in their shoe. I think that's the term. So I wanted your view of how we could get such knowledge. Since you are of
Well, kinda the same way I got some of my books. You eat the owner and you become the owner.
I see. That is quite well, that is the easier option, which I would prefer also, but if I'm not mistaken from what I remember, you are currently the eldest of the La Sombre clan in the city.
Sounds about right.
And the current books that I wish to inquire is from someone of your blood. Well, Kinda.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know how you
I
want.
vividly remember there's someone threatening me, so
Mm-hmm. And
we can't let that fly, can't we?
well, it is your option. You are the quote unquote boss of your clan in the city as of now. I am
The
just
clan's
here to
not
speak with
big
you
though.
because I want that knowledge. And I wanted to see how you wish for
Well, there are
dealer.
two ways. One of which would require you or somebody else or me to bloodbound a creature who cannot be bloodbound.
The second option is
The second option is not killing when useful or necessary. In terms of which it's both right now.
I say I let you think of how you wish to deal
If
with
you
this.
know a method to bloodbound someone who cannot be, we can go with this one.
I think
Or
it's most
I
safest.
can reclaim some blood back in it.
I think that is also a safer option.
Yeah.
Whichever you find preference, I am more than happy to help you help me help yourself.
uh, yeah, there's a way to say it. Yeah. Just give me a bit of prep time.
Of course.
Right.
And Jasper would take a look at Larry, remembering his discomfort about Jasper killing people.
Yeah, the humanity.
Is Larry going to say anything as he stares into Larry?
I suppose Larry just stares back menacingly.
He unmuted himself, so he might say something.
Since
Come on,
there's
big
no
guy.
against the idea, Jack, feel free to get ready.
I feel like, well, you do you, Jasper.
As he rolls his eyes away and turns his head not to look at Jasper.
Does he look uncomfortable with us killing someone?
Alex?
You could sense that in his emotions with that bitch ass power you got.
No,
Only
I
reveals
only can
lies.
sense the truth. If you
Hmm.
if you speak lies, I only can.
Okay, okay.
Well, I can read your aura. Gonna give me a good practice.
I do
Anyway,
feel very comfortable with you killing
Someone says Larry, and Jack immediately feels lie.
If Jack
Yeah,
checks, yes.
yeah.
But nah,
Well, don't
if
worry.
anyway,
if for
Jack,
real, Larry seems uncomfortable.
Don't worry. We don't have to
whenever
be present.
you feel ready, Jack,
No, no.
just call me. And Jasper would make his way to his room when he suddenly stops and seeing a little bit of where he was rebirthed, the moss, the mold, he grabs a little bit to himself and starts bringing it back to his room.
Mm-hmm. And with that small detail, we'll end the session here. Serena will see how the interaction with Olivia goes in private chat.
Mhm.
And yeah, Join us next week for the next episode of Beyond Armageddon. And thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.